I remember once my teacher meeting my mother and saying, the money you spent on his education, you've been better off giving to a donkey. And I just literally just sat there. There wasn't a reaction. I couldn't react. I had no, and it was not because my chakras had got to a level of enlightenment unknown to man. I really didn't have a clue. I didn't know. I was like, what the? So yeah, this is why I tell a lot of stories. Because it's like kind of saying it's a practical reality, this thing exists. It's not in the rarefied, it's not this guy sitting on a stage. Okay, fine, my brown skin works against me because you can quite easily counter with the argument, well, you're from the Indian subcontinent, this stuff's in your DNA and all of that stuff. But I'm seeing, I didn't wake up in an ashram in India. I was in that much more glamorous location called Coventry on a sofa at home. Do you get what I mean? So I traveled, I went to Pakistan, I did all of this, I went to Kashmir, went to shrines, I did all of this and everything. And then the silly thing was I was avoiding someone. So I was on the run, and the person I was on the run from was me. And then all of a sudden I find myself back home. Look at the symbolism of the whole thing, sitting on a sofa at home in Coventry. What the hell was I doing? Which is why, yes, I talk this way now. And it's to sort of like say, if you're going to listen. Make this the last talk. Mike's probably not going to love me for saying that, but make this the last talk. And use it as a way to go inwards to discover what you truly are. Because believe you me, that's the only gift that really matters. That's the gift that keeps on giving. I would love to be as polished, as eloquent as some of the other speakers that you've got coming on later on, but I'm just me. And, I'm a bit of a nightmare. I mean, I even wore a blazer today as well to kind of signify the much more grown-up version of me and stuff. But obviously it wasn't working. Bro, nice one, yeah. So you've actually taken Tim Freak's seat. Smashed it. So, yeah, that's the way it is. Everybody can know this. To say that is, I can't accept that. We have this capacity to know ourselves. We are constantly knowing ourselves. It's happening right now. We are constantly meeting. There's like, I don't know, there's as many talks happening in this room as there is a speaker. You're all interpreting this the way you are. Speak, oh great one. Because we love lying to ourselves. We believe our stories are true. We believe our suffering is true. We believe our pain is true. We believe it's... See, another two just walked off. I'm doing well here, man. We can possibly... Sorry, and stuff, I think. I would just like you to say you're watching a historic event. This is my last Mindful Man, because by the end of this, Mike's going to be like, never, not in a million years. Hell will freeze over, and it probably will freeze over. We're having you back and stuff. Oh, no, it's getting worse, man. People are joining the talk now and everything. Welcome and everything. You will have great spiritual dialogues here and stuff. So, I'm a bit irreverent, but I'm irreverent for a particular reason. It's because we can take this stuff so seriously. We can lean forward waiting for that next pearl of wisdom. And the reality is that pearl of wisdom isn't arriving because you may not even accept that pearl of wisdom. Earlier on today I was quoting poetry and making people cry, but it was because it was able to be accepted. So right now you're filtering this talk through your conditioning, who you are. It has to make sense in your world. When it makes sense, that acceptance happens, popularly termed as an awakening or liberation or enlightenment, when you can finally accept who you actually are. And that process of acceptance is constantly happening. I'm having to accept that this is me. So for years, even I fought this. I don't really want to be sitting on a stage talking to people because look at the responsibility. They're all looking up and they're thinking, he's going to say something. And it wasn't nice. And now I'm like, well, I'm here now. And I want people to talk to me. If you believe that there's something happening here, then ask me what's happening here. So I'm now actively singing my song as well. And saying a lot of what you're doing, if you were to honestly look at it, is a complete waste of time. Stop that. Be efficient with your usage of time. Because time's ticking, that's a one commodity we really can't get back and stuff. And get serious about yourself. So I'm here to, in a sense, almost light a fire under you as well. To make you kind of go, well, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is it really about this and stuff? And to really, actually, honestly, don't listen to me, but to actually have a conversation with yourself, to honestly listen to yourself. Who are you? What do you want? Why are you here? What's the point of all of this? What could the answer be to that seeking, to that yearning? The very fact that there is a yearning implies that you already know this. So the thing you're seeking, sorry, yes?
So how do you separate that from social conditioning? Because sometimes I feel in conflict.
You would ask me a complicated question, wouldn't you?
Sorry.
It's social conditioning. It's a long word there, do you know what I mean? Sorry, yes, far away, sorry, yeah.
No, but sometimes I feel in conflict, and I'm not entirely sure if what I want is what I've been
Sit with it. Sit with the confusion. There was something I read. It said, in the West, we don't like confusion. We don't like the messiness. We don't like the pain. And in the East, we revere it. So some of the teachers I sat with actively made my life hell. Because if I say to you all now, please remove the chairs and let's sit here and let's meditate and still your mind, thoughts will creep in. If I say to one of you, run into that wall right now at speed, hit your head, and then let me talk to you about realization, I think I know what the answer is going to be, and I hope there's not children here because F will be one of those words and stuff and everything. And we're turning away from a massive opportunity. And this is the point I really want to get to, that these barriers that we're going up against, the pain and the messiness, we need to accept them. We need to accept them fully to feel that pain, to feel that confusion, because confusion always leads to clarity. This is why they say the hour is darkest before the dawn. Of course it is. But if we're conditioned, and we're conditioned to walk away from all of these things that are offering us an opportunity at every single moment to know ourselves, we want to go for the harder option. Sitting cross-legged, meditating is the harder option. The easy option is fall into it, embrace it. It's a short-term thing. It's like, 3-4 years ago, I started talking again. And I've been through probably the most turbulent growth spurt ever in my life. It's been crazy. I've left the city I loved, ended up in the city I didn't want to be with, and all of this has happened. I've adopted a daughter and cats and all of this stuff. And what the hell? And the silly thing is, it's just by embracing that messiness, by really kind of going, that messiness is me, and allowing myself to just negate myself and feel that pain, I find it's transformative. It's amazing, which is why Rumi said the wound is where the light enters. So this is out there for everybody to hear. The wound is where the light enters. He didn't say sitting cross-legged and stuff. Even when he whirled around a tree in ecstasy, it was in pain. It was that pain of separation of, I wish to remove every single veil I can possibly remove that stands in the way of me and my beloved. And that's what it is. It's about, I talked earlier on about within the Sufi tradition, we say there's like levels and stuff. And one is that there's the ashik and the mashuk, there's the lover and there's the beloved. And then there's this process of negation to the point where you realize there is just a beloved. But even that is a sin, because somebody is there saying that there is a beloved. And then there's a point where there is no lover and there's no beloved. The idea of self, the idea of another has disappeared. That's why in love there is no other. There's a very famous Indian sage, Ramana Maharishi, once stated, there are no others. There's this singularity here. It's manifesting itself as so many different people. It's manifesting itself in the most beautiful ways with all these stories. We get told it's just this. So we get told it's just this, and we don't want to go into the stories. We don't want to go into the messiness. And yet, every moment our stories are defining us, which is why I can't teach you. It's arrogance of me to assume that I know something you don't know. I can offer some information. I am your humble servant at this moment in time. Fine, I'm standing on a stage, but, okay, I'll stop getting... I'm just here to, in a sense, just say, what do you need from me? And in reality, you don't even need anything from me. Just use me as a mirror. In the Sufi tradition, they say the teacher is like a mirror. It reflects back your reality to you. It's also a great caveat if you didn't enjoy the talk, examine yourself and stuff. But we'll put that one aside. The reality is, what are you seeing? What are you feeling? Because the next Rumi is sitting in this room. The next Shams is sitting in this room. The next Eckhart Tolle is sitting in the room. And it's available to everybody, regardless of your race, your color, your creed, your conditioning, your story, or anything. It's all here. And the minute you've got it, walk out. If you want to honor this place, walk away. Never return. But walk away realizing it's with you. That's what I do. So it's with you. I honored my teachers, as beautiful as the Mehfil Samaz were, and as beautiful as the Dargahs were, and as beautiful as that incense were, and as beautiful as it was, and it was beautiful, I honored the place by walking away. So you want to honor what's happening in this festival, honor it by becoming it. And by becoming it, it's quite simple. Meet yourself. Know yourself. Have an honest conversation with yourself, please. I'm begging you. Because the reality is we can lie to other people and it's not cool. But we're telling our lives, we're telling lies to ourselves on a constant basis. We're missing. Something's missing. I need to figure it out. I'm seeking something. What are you looking for? Your very seeking shows that you already know it. The very fact that you think it's missing, well, please, somebody tell me what's missing. The crazy thing is nobody has ever been able to give me a definitive answer to this day of what is actually missing. oh, it's like, no, I'd like an answer. I'll travel with you. I'll talk to you. I'll sit with you. I'll be your best friend. But just tell me that there's something actually missing. And the reality is there isn't. But this is the best bit. We know all of this. There's nothing new he's saying. But then what happens is that last veil, which is that veil of knowledge, that's the one we don't want to throw away, because we've invested so much time and energy in accumulating this knowledge. We have been conditioned to accumulate. We've then been conditioned to defer that gratification as well. So to the point where I will be happy when, which basically means the idea of time and conditioning is not allowing us to accept this innocent, beautiful, simple moment. And yet the acceptance of this moment, which is what every tradition, every pointer, every teacher has ever pointed to, is the beginning of it all. It's life. It's living. People come here because they want to live. Because they've done everything. They've bought the toys and everything, and it still wasn't enough. So what's enough? The reality is you are enough. But again, you've heard that as a soundbite as well. But what does it mean to realize that you are enough? So yeah, we're going through the soundbites today, but the soundbites are also offering us a clue to the nature of our existence as well. It's whether we can accept that. It's whether we can accept humility instead of pretending to be humble. It's whether we can accept the moment as opposed to talking of the moment. It's whether we can actually accept it to the point where it's a practical living reality, which is why there is no Sufi sitting on this stage.